Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Right Honourable Amobi Godwin Ogah, a Parliament from Nigeria and the House Committee Chairman on HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria control. It's my pleasure to be with you this morning. My dear colleagues and friends, we have come together to make a brighter future for all of us. I bring you warm greetings from Nigeria and from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I thank the organizers for this timely event. Nigeria stands ready to take bold new steps to address the funding gaps, strengthening our progress against tuberculosis, malaria, HIV, and AIDS. As donor resources flatten, we recognize that sustainable domestic solutions are not just an option. They are an imperative. Nigeria sits at the heart of a global challenge with a quarter of the world's malaria toll, one of the heaviest burdens of tuberculosis in the world today, and nearly 2 million citizens living with HIV. Over 60% of Nigerians first seek care in the private sector, pharmacies, drug shops, clinics. Yet, these providers have been largely excluded from donor-funded programs unless we rethink our approach. Diseases will rebound, drugs resistance will grow, and families will continue to lose loved ones to preventable and treatable illnesses. This is why I am driving a legislation to transform how we mobilize domestic resources to protect the progress we achieved in an era of steadier donor support. This legislation establishes result-based financing at the national level by extending HIV-focused policies to tuberculosis and malaria. Importantly, this kind of legislation embraces the private sector as an essential partner in our health system. We must begin to focus on homegrown innovative solutions to our problems. To this end, the House Committee on HIV/AIDS, Tuberculosis and Malaria Control in Nigeria is proposing a collective and holistic approach to solving public health threats in Africa. We cannot talk about malaria without talking about HIV/AIDS and tuberculosis. Therefore, the HIV/AIDS, Tuberculosis and Malaria Committee is amending the National Agency for Control of AIDS, NACA, to the National Agency for Control of AIDS, Tuberculosis and Malaria, NACATAN. This amendment bill will be ready to be read the first time immediately the Parliament resumes from its vacation later this month. This new agency will draw funding from its operations from a dedicated amount from telecom/airtime levies, mobile money transaction fees, and finally, a percentage from the nation's consolidated revenue. How are we going to achieve this? Government of Nigeria allocations will be complemented by tax incentives for private sector contributions, by levies earmarked for health, and by using donor co-financing and tied to measurable outcomes. This diverse financing model demands equally diverse leadership, and that means bringing government, private sector, and civil society and development partners together to share ownership and accountability. This is not a distant aspiration for us in Nigeria. It is happening now already. Merchant Maids is already using its technology across Nigeria to improve malaria and fever care, showing that we can engage the private sector to deliver verified health outcomes at low cost. The NHIA Act has set precedent for using tax incentives to channel corporate investment into healthcare. We are not starting from the scratch as a country. Nigeria aims